All right, this is about the Chris Scholtes case. I want to say Scholtes, Scholtes case in Marana, Arizona, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. As you guys know, Arizona is extremely hot. No, it's okay. That's pardon the noise in the background. He decides he wants to be noisy. Hey, it's okay. It's me. Look, that's me. It's okay. Sorry, guys. So we're in Arizona where it's extremely hot. Okay, we talked about excessive heat and how dangerous it is. Okay, potentially fatal. Um, I don't think Chris Schultes had a job. I could be wrong, but he seemed like a loser to me. He's left their kids in the car, him and his wife's kids in the car on multiple occasions. He's driven under the influence of alcohol with the kids in the car because we've saw evidence of that with the text messages between him and his wife. We also have seen where he's driven over 100 miles an hour with the children in the car. So far as what I see and what the cops are seeing, he was trying to eliminate his children. Not only that, he didn't want kids. He didn't want kids. Okay? His wife is in denial, severe denial, because the two girls were at a place called Elevate. I don't have a clue what that is. Those of you that live in Arizona might know what that is. The mother-in-law went to go get the kids, and he called the cops because he was there by himself at the house. And he called the cops because um, his daughter died in the car because it was too hot in there. And he claims it kept reiterating with the police officers that she was only in there taking a nap for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, which is not true because one of the officers noticed that when they arrived on scene, she was already in rigor mortis. That does not happen in a half an hour to 45 minutes. It does not. He kept reiterating, I didn't want to wake her up. She was in the car taking a nap. You do not have a child in an oven, and that's exactly what a car is in the extreme heat in Arizona. It is an oven. So while he was shopping on his phone and watching adult movies, his daughter was dying in the car. And she did die. Um, they interviewed the wife, and she's, denial. I'm telling you, I've been in denial before, and I've been in denial for years. I know how this works. Okay. Denial will have you believing that clouds in the sky are really cotton candy and nobody can convince you differently. Okay. And at this particular juncture, when the police officers were asking her, how's your marriage? She said, it's amazing. We love each other so much. We're in awe of how much we love each other. Our life is perfect. No, baby, no, baby. Your husband doesn't want your children and let one of your children die. Does she realize that he's a murderer? No. She still loves him. They came to arrest him. Okay. And she said, can I kiss him goodbye? Can he say goodbye to the other kids? And I'm thinking to myself, and then they got mad at the police for arresting him on second-degree murder charges. Okay. The evidence was extremely contrary to what he was saying. Contradictory to what he was saying. So obviously he was lying, and obviously this was done on purpose. He also, the same day that he let his daughter die, he also went to get gas for the car and then left without paying and went to go get some beer because I think he's got a drinking problem. He has, he has had drinks with the children in the car. He has also driven 100 miles an hour with the children in the car. He was trying to eliminate his children. She doesn't want to see that. People who are not emotionally involved can see things that you don't see. So they finally arrested him, and it was originally going to be a second degree murder, and then they upped it to first degree in child abuse. And she's wanting to kiss him goodbye. He killed your daughter. Are you serious right now? But she's in denial, so she's going to believe that he is the perfect husband and their life is perfect and they're deeply in love and they're in awe. She's in awe of how much they love each other. I'm like, oh my God, you're married to a child who hates your children. A sick child on top of that. Can I kiss him? Are you kidding me? And then when the cops came to arrest, the mother-in-law and the wife had the nerve to say, "You couldn't even wait until the funeral or after the funeral to arrest him." They don't want him arrested, period. Do you not know what he's being arrested for? Do you need to research what murder is? Denial, denial, denial on both of their ends. They don't want to believe that someone that they care about is capable. His mother, the mother-in-law, knows that her son's a god dang flippin' loser. She knows that. Him being a loser isn't a shock to you. You know he's garbage. How he managed to marry a doctor is beyond me. Can I kiss him? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. They strike me as the type that no matter what the evidence is, the whole criminal justice system is rigged. The cops set him up to be arrested. He didn't do anything wrong. When you clearly see evidence of him doing extremely harmful things. How many times have the kids left the house and Chris was home and didn't know where they were, and the neighbors had to band together to figure out where the kids were because he didn't want the kids. He didn't love the kids. He married a doctor because why not? She's a doctor. She got a lot of money. I better snag that. But he didn't want the kids in on it. That was obvious. Why else would you drive over 100 miles an hour with your kids in the car and drink alcohol to boot while you're driving? He don't want those children. He's not as wonderful as you all think he is. Oh my God. So that's insane. And he went from, his whole behavior was off the wall. I'm going to put the video in the description so you all can see it. He went from calm to hysterical to calm again. What? It's extremely bizarre. It's extremely bizarre. I think he's a sociopath. I do. Possibly a psychopath. His acting is terrible. Falling to his knees, and he's so devastated by the death of his child. Let me go in here very calmly and get me a glass of water. I'd like to take a shower. Well, I'm sure your daughter would have liked to take a bath, but she couldn't because you were baking her in a car on purpose. I knew years ago, I'm going to go there. I don't give a shit. I'm going there. I knew years ago that when the first parent so-called forgot their kid in the car, that was going to start a trend. Did it or did it not start a trend where all of a sudden every other person is forgetting their kid in the car? You know what? Not having kids is preventable. I don't know why people don't know that. I don't understand why that's a secret. Or why people are acting like it's a secret. You don't know what birth control is? You don't know what condoms are? You don't know what a vasectomy is? You can choose not to have children. You don't have to end them when they came here. You can prevent them. What a concept. She probably pushed for kids. If she ever gets out of denial, the wife, if she ever gets out of denial, she will realize that your husband's not who you think he is. If you ever get out of denial, that's a huge if. Her denial is, wow, I just cannot. It doesn't look suspicious to you, the behavior that he's done, trying to deliberately put your kids in harm's way, and you think that is love? You guys are so in awe because you love each other so much? No, he was loving your money, honey. You know, there's a saying, love is blind, but the neighbors can see. People can see who are not emotionally involved in it. They can see things crystal clear that you can't see. You can't even see your hand in front of your face because you're right in the middle of this nightmare. And a 2-year-old child lost her life because her father didn't care. Remember the other day I told you that some sick individuals see their children as a financial burden? He's one of them. He never wanted kids. He never wanted kids. He wanted the money to be, have access to the money. But she wanted to get married and have children. And that's fine if you have kids with the right person. But if you have kids with a narcissistic sociopath or a narcissistic psychopath, well, you've just made the biggest mistake of your life. Hopefully one day she'll get deep out of denial, because God knows she's so deep in, she's all the way in the earth's crust. You know how deep that is? It's very deep, okay? That's how deep her denial is, and I hope to God one day she wakes up and realizes that the person you're married to is a killer. You want to kiss him before he goes to prison and he murdered your child. Really? You're a doctor. You know it takes, depending on the circumstances, depending on the temperature of the atmosphere of what the body is exposed to, the temperature the body is exposed to, it can take hours for rigor mortis to set in. And you sitting here believing his story of the kid was in there for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You're a doctor. You know better. But you acting like, oh no, we're in love. Oh my God. Wearing me the hell out. But I will post the video to the in the description. You guys take care. Much love.